So this over here is where you can go swimming. So how many of you would go into that water where, right, not that far away, is an alligator sign? So there's no way you're gonna catch me in any kind of water except for a pool or an ocean in Florida. I will not go in a river.
Hey darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life.
Everybody, I'm Scott.
And I'm Melissa.
Welcome back to RV Rolling with MJ. Today we're trying something a little different, trying a mobile review as we walk along the Kitchikimi, not Kitchikimi, is it?
Kitching Creek Nature Trail. It's like a 1 mile. We're in Jonathan Dickinson State Park, which is in Hobe Sound, like I guess that's Jupiter. It's only like an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes from where we live. It's one of the Florida state parks, and you have to book it about 11 months usually in advance, but there was a lot of empty spots.
It is actually no humidity, probably in the low 70s. Perfect weather. There's a lot to do in this park. There is kayaking, there's biking, and it's not just leisurely biking. There is regular biking, but there's also like extreme type biking with, you know, mountains and jumps and all kinds of stuff. So if you're into biking, this is the place to go.
Oh, it's only full hookups if you stay at, there's 2 campgrounds. One's the Pine Grove Campground, and the other one's a river campground. We're at the Pine Grove Campground, which is a little bit further from everything. So in hindsight, we probably should have stayed at the river campground. It was a little bit more rustic, the river campground, than what we have. It was definitely nicer where we're, and there's more sites. There's about 90 campsites at the Pine Grove, and there's like 52 at the river campground. In the Pine Grove, they have a picnic table, a fire ring. They also have bathroom facilities, showers, and a washer and dryer that I saw. And there's about 4 loops inside the Pine Grove where you can stay.
Right, and there's an observation tower.
Yeah, so we did the Hobe Sound observation tower yesterday, and that was really nice. With our family came to visit for the day, because as I said, it's not that far from home. So they say it's a 10-minute hike. It really wasn't. You have to climb some stairs with like a little boardwalk, and you go up to the top, and it was definitely worth it to see that view. You can see the ocean and the intercoastal from the top. I made a, what would you call this that I just did? That special name.
I hate that word.
I know, I never could remember. I did buy one.
That's the word of 2021.
Yeah. Isn't it called a katuri? I can't even say it. We bought one that had our initial of our last name.
Was social distancing.
Oh my gosh.
Social distancing. 2020 was Chakiri.
Yeah, Chakiri. Board. I had to make our own.
Never heard of that word ever.
I know, until this year. How are they?
They're absolutely stunning.
Okay.
I mean,
are they really? Or are you just saying?
I'm just saying.
You're just saying. Not good?
No, fabulous.
Fabulous. Okay.
Just saying.
Just saying. Hard to get state park, and it's a popular one, what I've heard. We're settling in. We're site 25 in the Pine Grove Campground. The river campground supposedly floods, so I didn't pick that. Here Scott's setting up. There's only about 90 sites here in the Pine Grove, and I believe 52 at the river campground. It It rained a little bit on our way here, but it wasn't too bad. And it's nice. There's a lot of, you come here if you want to go biking, especially mountain biking, but we don't have mountain bikes. There's hiking, you can go kayaking, canoeing, all that kind of stuff. I think it's definitely a pretty campground. It's not heavily wooded, but luckily we have an awning and it's actually cloudy today, so, and it's not hot. So I guess if you came here in the midst of the summer when it's really hot and it's not shaded, it will get hot. We don't tow a car. It's not horribly far from where we live, but I guess we could have brought a car, but we have our e-bikes, so that is not a problem. The problem is our kayak. So, but we do have a red cart. We could walk to it, but it would take a while. For those people, I guess, who are in the river campground, there is a dump station also in the Pine Grove. Not sure if there is in the river campground. And it has a pavilion where I guess you can have a party maybe, or you know, have picnic if you want to. You can see a little bit of a view. Here is the playground. The nice playground for the kids. Each campsite also comes with a fire ring and a picnic table, plus dogs are allowed. Here's some, I'll give you a little turn. This is a different loop next door to ours. With the Florida State Parks, they're really hard to get them, especially the more popular ones. And you usually have to book 11 months to the day. So it's crazy to think you have to think about 11 months, but so every month I have something booked. And there's Disney. Here's the cutie pie. Hey Diz, are you a good girl? You loving it? Are you loving it? Here's our little setup.
I spent years building trust in that community. Without me,
Big boy. What a big boy. You know, plus we're climbing up the Hobe
Desert
Sound, I think it is, observation tower, which is right outside the Pine Grove Campground with our daughter, son-in-law, and our grandson. And we'll see if our daughter goes up to the top. She is pregnant. So we're now at the area where the visitor center is, and there's like a picnic area, pavilion. There's supposedly a concession stand where you can get some snacks, maybe lunch, kayak and canoe rentals. So we're here where you can rent kayaks and canoes, and I believe maybe bike rentals. So, and the river is right over here. You could take a boat, you could take a guided tour, an Erie River cruise, or you could also go to the Trapper Nelson area and check out the house and stuff there. Oh, horseback riding too. Want to take a picture? Trying to get a selfie with us on our bikes. Ready?
Sure.
1, 2. Yeah, I can hear you. I'm filming myself riding a bike, so hopefully it's coming out. So they have all these, Jonathan Dickinson has all these bike paths. A lot of them are for serious mountain bikers or beginning mountain bikers. That's not us. They have these really cool bike helmets. It says you have to have approved bike helmets for it. They also say no e-bikes are allowed on it, so you have to have a regular bike. But I don't see who would stop you. The use, you can ride your e-bikes on the multi-use, and I believe this is a multi-use. And we also rode our bikes on the Old Dixie Highway also, which you can ride your e-bikes. So we were supposed to go kayaking, and Scott burned out the
oh my God, I didn't burn out anything.
the air, what is it called, pump? I don't know.
That's what they
So we
call it.
can't blow it up.
Yeah.
On Friday before we
Of the
left,
battery.
Scott put
No, he didn't.
he had the generator on,
No, he
and he
didn't.
must have. And I smelled something funny, but I was like, it must be my imagination. It smelled like burning rubber.
No, it didn't.
And now, and all of a sudden, this pump that we have, he must have been charging it at the same time.
He must have been. It's like a
And
third person.
That's what I was smelling, and it looks like it could have been, it burned.
No, didn't burn.
This pump, okay, it definitely burned.
Nope.
Okay, say what you. I definitely think it burned. So he thinks that I did it. I don't know how I would have done it by putting it on the floor.
It's
So
funny.
it's
I
definitely-
think she did it. She thinks she did it.
No,
so,
I don't.
I don't know. Do the math.
I think he did it. Just like that time. We have so many problems. We love the boat, but we had so many problems, nothing to do with the boat. Let's see. Once he forgot to bring the oars when we went. Where did
You
we
know,
go?
you say our videos are too long. Yet
No.
you're rambling on
No,
about
but we
nothing
forgot
people
the
are interested
oars. I think it was in Silver Springs, which thankfully we went to Walmart. We drove the RV because it was too far.
in. And we have come without a pump before. We did borrow a pump.
Yeah. Yeah.
However,
Also, we also-
this place, we actually tried to get a pump.
Oh yeah.
Just a side note.
I
Look, we are.
I called the concession place where they rent the kayaks and stuff, and the guy said, "Oh, no problem. We have a compressor, but I don't know if it'll fit. But we'll do everything we can
So
to
let
get you
me
on the
take
water."
over. Let me take over the next.
What?
So, what happened within the next 5 minutes is the guy who Melissa spoke to probably spoke to his manager,
Right.
and manager probably said, "Are you stupid? That's a customer that you just made. You're giving them a out, or you're giving them the option to, we'll give them air and then they won't rent from us. You tell them we don't have a pump." Calls back, he says, just straight out, "Spoke to my manager, we can't accommodate you, thank you," and hung up. So, with that said, extremely rude.
Eating some s'mores, of course. When you're camping, you can't forget the s'mores. And football.
Whenever we go to an attraction, a park, an RV park, a town, a city, what have you, we do a review. And we scale it from 1 to 10, with 10 being the best place we've ever been, 1 being the not so best place we ever been.
I'm going to give it a tiny bit less because of what happened this morning with the staff, since you brought that up as one of our criteria.
I would say.
So I'm only going to give this place a 6.5 because, I mean, it's not horrible. I mean, the campground is sort of pretty, but it's very rustic looking. They do have, I think it's more geared towards the people who want to do mountain biking. Of course, we didn't get a chance to go on the river, so we can't rate that portion of it since the pump is not working. But it just wasn't like the wow factor for me compared to some of the other state parks. I definitely love like Silver Springs, Curry Hammock, you know, some of those places that we've been. So it really didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
But I think if I was into mountain biking, I probably would have liked it better. So that's, what do you have to say?
So good thing you mentioned that incident with the pump. So yeah, that's a big deal to me, because that, you know, people say, well, that's one instance you had with them. Something like that is really deep. Their policy
other
is
campgrounds
oh,
that
yeah.
helped us. We went to Chasariska and we forgot our life
Yeah.
jackets.
So whoever the manager was on this date, that's a big deal to me. So like Melissa said, it's nice, But the campsite that we stayed at was far away from, you know, the hiking trails, and I guess the river. So that was a little disappointing, but we could have stayed. A little research, we could have stayed a lot closer. So one big thing also is I'm all big on instructions and maps and stuff. You cannot get around this place with map. I mean, their maps are so confusing. I don't even want to get into that.
Yeah.
I mean, wherever you go, you look at a map, they'll tell you, you know, look on the map, this is where you go. The maps make no sense. Everything's called different things on different maps. They have dashes and
they don't have the names.
I'm gonna actually give it exactly what Melissa gave it, a 6.5.
Wow, same.
Just that. I you know, so far out of all the state parks, this is the one I wouldn't say. I mean, you definitely go. I mean, it's not horrible. Until next time, we will see you down the road.